So that's the old flag down. That's the new flags going up. That's the Anguilla flag and the courtesy flag.
Yeah, trying to launch it on a very rocky deck.
It's very bouncy. So there they are flying. Go's just got to tie them off now. And now is where we're heading to. Straight in front. Rendezvous Bay. Bit of a rocky journey and a bit of a wet journey as well.
Yeah, you get a fair share of rain
Yep.
today.
So we took the French flag down. We've now put the Anguillian flag up and the courtesy flag up.
Which is British territory.
It is indeed, yeah, it's British territory.
We've done a 3-hour sail from St Martin's today, Simpson Bay, and we're now in Rendezvous Bay in Anguilla. And we've got to walk from this bay here, Rendezvous Bay, and we somehow got to find our way over to there, Road Bay, to check into customs. We've done our formalities online, so it should just be a matter of walking over there and getting stamped in. But Rendezvous Bay is a large bay with a sandy beach all the way around it. And we're not sure where to put the tender. We've just seen people go in and put their tender up on the beach, but unfortunately our tender's a bit too big to do that. So with them two people are walking on the beach, behind them there's a tender. They just come off of that sailing catamaran there. We think what we need to do, if we can't find somewhere just here to leave it on the side, we think we need to leave it floating in the water with its anchor out and then walk ashore. But it is very shallow, so it shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, after a 3-hour journey today at about 5-6 knots, we have landed in Anguilla. There was a big super yacht next to us, it's just gone, but there is still one more out there. And he's anchored in 6 metres, we're anchored in about 3 metres. We did go for a few squalls this morning. Sorry about the wind. But what a gorgeous looking beach that is. David is just setting the anchor pro, so when we go ashore, if the boat moves, we get a signal via telegram, triggering an alert on our phones, and then we can look on a satellite picture and see if the boat's moved outside its radius that we set, and if it has, if it's dragging. We use that all the time when we go ashore. If the weather's really severe and windy, then we obviously stay on the boat. But, yep, we're going to go ashore, have a bit of food, check into customs, and probably stay over a couple of 3 days before we move on to St Bart's. So those that are interested, I know some of you are following our little journey. We sort of left yesterday morning in NC Marcel on the French side of St Martin's after being there for 2 months, and we went down to the Dutch side and spent kind of a day and a night anchored in Simpson Bay next to the marina. She needs a good clean. And then this morning we left at about 7:30, and we've just spent 3 hours coming across from the Dutch side of St Martin's over to Anguilla. And we're now looking for a place to put the tender so we can go ashore, get something to eat and check into customs. We have done all the customs online, filled out all the formalities and all the forms on South Clear, but we still have to go into customs, which should be a little bit easier and a little bit more straightforward. We are thinking that if we can't find somewhere here to tie the tender off and get something to eat, there is just a little restaurant just here where we can put the tender on anchor in very shallow water and walk ashore, have something to eat and drink, and then maybe get a taxi or walk through to Road Bay where the customs hall is. But a lovely bay, and over the back there, that island is the island of St Martin's, and you're mainly looking at the French side, and down there is the Dutch side. Yep. Reality is out there, and we found this old busted dock in Rendezvous Bay, and we just tied the tender up. There's a roadway out, so we think she'll be alright floating there. Well, that's what we've decided to do, isn't it, Dave? Yeah. Right, let's hit the road. Well, this is a very unusual place that we've come to. This is the office for what was once a very grand holiday resort, where we just put the tender down there. Some entrance off the road. Obviously at some point had lovely gardens, and there was the office. And it's just, well, they've done a lot of work, haven't they, Dave? Like, all the bushes are quite nicely cut. Yeah. But you can see it's been shut forever. Here, look. Waterway out there as well. Yeah. Right on the point, haven't we? Yep, we got hope that we can walk over to customs. But what an unusual place. And even the building in front you can see is derelict. There's about 6 buildings in this bay, which for some reason or other have closed. Now, if that's due to storms in the past or market conditions, I have no idea. But this would have been a very grand place to have come for your holiday, wouldn't it? Yeah. You can just see it was it's a shame it's been. Oh look, Yacht Club Villas. Yeah. Wow. You wouldn't mind buying this for the right money, but then if there's no market for it, or the cost of repair is too great, then there's no incentive. Anyway, interesting place. Rendezvous Bay. Just everything looks kind of run down. Yeah, it just looks like general maintenance cleaning. I mean, them guys down there we just passed when we put the tender on the dock, they were just cleaning up dead leaves and stuff. Yeah, I mean, look, yeah, quick, come on, let's take the stairs up, just look inside this holiday resort here. All the electric's been cut out. I mean, look at it, what a place.
This is kind of looking like it never got finished.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, so you think they've run out of sponsors, money, whatever?
This could be another COVID.
Oh, of course, it's all rendered in sand and cement, unless they've started.
Nah, it's too old.
Wow. Not sure about the swimming pool.
That is a swimming pool. Got
Yeah,
to be in it.
yeah, that's the swimming pool.
Oh, stagnant.
Hot tubs. What an unusual place. I mean, is that... Yeah, I think you're right. I think this never got finished.
Never got finished.
What do you reckon, from 20, 30 years ago?
COVID.
Oh, you think it was COVID?
Yeah, it's another COVID
Victim. Yeah, because look, there's the staircase. Yeah. Never got banister rails in it by the looks of it. Skylight. Amazing place though. Absolutely amazing. Roadway down the back. There's all the electrics, I think. Unless that's water, I think it's electrics. Weird design. I mean, the reason I don't think it's COVID is because the rust. That rust looks 20, 30 years old on that.
Don't take long enough.
Yeah, that's a lot longer than COVID rust, but I don't think that's from the building. It's just been put there, isn't it? So it's from somewhere else, probably.
That's probably a bit of scaffold.
Well, that's quite interesting. And there's several of these buildings just on this edge of this bay. Yeah, someone's put a lot of money into building that. A lot of investors, I would think, have lost a lot of money. It's probably owned by a bank or somebody, and nobody wants to buy it because it's cheaper to pull it down than it is to finish it.
Russians investing their money and that went wrong with the oligarch situation.
Yeah, it could be. Could be a number of things, but there's some nice private houses here now.
Yeah.
Yep, really pretty. Nice palm trees, flowers. Right. Well, I could film these areas all day, but I know a lot of people find it boring. I quite like going on these little missions. I mean, it's what was it? An hour and 40-minute walk, did you say? Over to Road.
Hour and 57.
2-hour walk to Road Bay. But we know there's a restaurant just down here. We're going to get some food, a beer, and then maybe we'll order a taxi to take us over. Because if it's 2-hour walk there, it's going to be a 2.5-hour walk back because you're going to be tired.
Sort of things moving around in the bushes.
Is there?
Yeah.
Crabs probably. Big crabs. We've seen a few. So what's that one? 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, rental inquiry. So it's not for sale. What's that? Green grab. Green grad. No, I don't think so. What do they do? Well, just a nice little, not a dirt road, it is tarmac, with interesting properties. By the sea, hideaway, tiny bay cottage too.
That's where they're doing the construction.
Villa Bianca. So yeah, there's lots of construction work still going on. Very interesting place. Lizard, yeah? Yeah, they're everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah. One with his head sticking up over the parapet.
Yeah, I can see him. Well, there you go. That is a very small part of Rendezvous Bay, Anguilla. Hope you enjoyed that. So we've been walking for about 20 minutes to half an hour. It's quite hot. And we had a 2-hour walk to go to customs, and we walked from there where we left the tender on a dock outside a derelict hotel, and we was thinking it'd be nice if we could come across a place where we can get a beer and maybe order a taxi. But better than that, Andy's Autos had 2 motorbikes only available, and for the 3 days that we need them for, so we've rented scooters outside the ferry terminal, Blowing Point ferry terminal, which takes you over to some of the other islands. Welcome to Anguilla, British Caribbean. And we're now going to ride over to check into customs, which was, I say, nearly a 2-hour walk, but 15 minutes on our little mopeds. How about that, turning up and finding they only had 2 bikes in stock for the 3 days. For the 3 days we needed them.
That's why I pulled them up.
Yeah, nice little bikes, isn't they? I think yours is better in red.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yours is an Aprilia. Oh, mine's an Aprilia as well. Oh, they're the same, but yours is a slightly later version. But how
So here we go.
strange.
Up. Turn right.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said take the first right, follow the roundabout and go down the hill. Yeah. Right, we're on our way. Well, they just seem to let the sheep go wherever they want to go. This is the local football pitch. That's the grass cutters. And we've got goats under the tree and sheep in the field. right on the edge of the road. I do like these little roadside cafes, bubblicious. Look at that. Well, we felt a little bit hungry. We cleared customs and we decided, we saw this little Chinese restaurant on the side of the road on Rendezvous Road next to Bubblicious Caribbean restaurant, and this one is a Chinese restaurant, and it is decided to absolutely flood the area. So this is more of a takeaway Chinese restaurant, kind of convenience store at the same time. That down there is the ferry terminal where we got our bikes from. We drove over to where we were told to check in for customs, and in the end, Road Bay, where we went, which was where we was told to go by Salclear, which is an online platform that checks your paperwork into these countries to make it a little bit easier. You still have to see customs, but we got there and we were told that we was in the wrong place and we had to come back to a place we'd already come from, where we got the bikes. So we drove into the ferry terminal and the staff helped us fill out some forms so we could check in and fill out some forms for when we check out. So we are officially checked in to Anguilla. It was a lovely hot day when we started, and now the place is flooded. So we're seeking refuge. Look at our bikes, soaking wet. And we're hoping that this rainstorm passes, but it looks like it might be in for a while. We've ordered so much food, we've got loads of... what's that like, Dave, that dish?
Really nice.
Is that the best one out of all of them?
Yeah.
We've got so much food that we're going to take more home with us
What we're eating.
than what we're eating. But anyway, nice. So after our little day out today on the mopeds, checking into customs, it started belting down with rain. We decided to come back to this derelict hotel, and we're on a mission to see if we can save a lizard that we think might have been stuck in this pool for God knows how long. And we're going to lay this bit of wood that David's found on the bottom step, and this poor little lizard, he could have been here forever. I thought of sticking it down here, Dave. And there he is, old little lizard. We have no idea how long he's been there. Dave, do you think he can climb each individually on these steps?
Yeah, get up there. What a lovely colour and all.
Yeah, he's a lot of lime green, isn't he? Yeah, so we come back
Yeah, get up there.
and we see this little fella swimming around, and he can't get out of this swimming pool.
You can now.
There's another shallow swimming pool here, which that one he probably could have got out of. So he's obviously gone in for a little swim. What an amazing place though. A derelict place, but what an amazing place. Right, we've done all we can for you, mate. There's your way out. I'm not so sure he can climb these steps.
Yeah, no, you get up there.
You think so?
Yeah, jump there.
Because the other thing to do is to put a rock on every step.
Yeah, jump there.
You think so? Well, hopefully there was always enough food in there for him to live.
I don't think there's a problem with food. It's probably just surviving on insects. There's a million insects.
And also the other thing is, he's constantly in deeper water. Well, there you go, mate.
You don't fancy a swim, gal?
Yeah, but not in there. That little bench, Dave, they made here.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place, isn't it?
I reckon that could have been a little jacuzzi down there.
Yeah, I think that was a jacuzzi there. That was sunbeds, or seabed as they call it. Where's Reality? There she is. Just over there. Behaving herself. Well, we got stuck in a Chinese restaurant for about an hour and a half because it belted down with rain. And we were going to travel around the island today, but
Round this way.
we're going to do it tomorrow. Yeah, we'll go around this way. I bet back in the day this was a stunning place. This is all that limestone that guy was on about just now, Dave. This would have been a place to come in the 70s, 80s and 90s. You think they could sell this off as individual residential blocks though, didn't you? I would have thought so. Well, how tender if it hasn't been stolen.
Young mangoes, look.
Yeah, mangoes grain, yep. Look at this place. Once a thriving hotel resort in an absolutely stunning place. Yeah, just be careful you don't twist your ankle. It's good limestone though. It's quite solid. Do what? A conch, yeah, conch shell that is, yeah. The things we do, us stupid Brits, we do a little bit of exploration. We love it. Yeah, Dave, there's a conch shell there, look, as well. So this has all been washed away, but back in the day, this would have been sand down these steps. Oh, David, look at the conch shells on the top. All full of conchs. Now, if you've never had conch fritters,
Yes.
they're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, beautiful.
With a little bit of sweet chilli sauce. Delicious. Now, is our baby still here? We've been gone about 4 hours. We've come back to the old broken dock. This place even had its own landing dock.
Yeah.
That's our...
And there is.
She's still there. She's still there, baby reality. Had its own beach. And it's all derelict. But there are maintenance people here cleaning everything up because we saw them earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, palm trees with coconuts. Hey. What a stunning place, eh? Mate, we've got our own beach.
Got our own landing dock and everything. I think we should put our name for that hotel over there.
Yeah, look. It was Anguilla International Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that was its name? Oh no, we saw it on the way out earlier, didn't we? Yeah. What a result that's just gone to waste. What a shame. I don't know if I want to walk on this dock. You think we're all right? Look at how the rust cut through there and just dropped it. I don't think I want to go any further. Yes, please. So yeah, bounce up and down and find out. Go on. Yeah, he's braver than me.
Mate, I think I've jumped out on the scooter.
You can actually see where it's cleanly cut and fell in, can't you?
Quite nice and clear and all, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit murky because we've had rain. But you can see, oh look at that, look, just the whole concrete slab.
Yeah.
I was right, you can come over there with a tender,
Yeah.
it's deep enough. The old electric cables and stuff. This would have been a proper landing pad, this would have been. Yeah, the bird.
There's a bird on there.
There's a bird.
Bird. Oh, yeah, that's one of our friends.
Oh yeah,
Needlefish.
little needlefish. Swimming out there somewhere. There's the airport over the back. That's rather just taken off or landing. Mind you, that's St Martin's over there, isn't it?
The bigger one there.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Yeah.
But only the little ones landing here. We've just driven past the airport as well.
Well, I reckon he's coming in.
This is all derelict.
He's coming in that airline. He's coming in round there, I reckon, didn't you?
Yeah, it might be.
Go to St. Thomas.
Hey, there's a canoe over there. A kayak.
Yeah.
So that blue bar with the blue roof, which is over there somewhere, he said only just opened that restaurant. He reckons the food's in there that's quite good, the chap we met today. Oh, he was a lovely bloke. One of 8 siblings.
Yeah. The youngest of 8 siblings.
The youngest of 8 siblings, and he was 55.
Yeah.
And he's only lost one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, rain interfered with our play today, but we have got checked in. We're going to go back to the good ship, have an early night, and then tomorrow get up and go off if it's nice and sunny and drive around the island.
Yeah.
Get ready, there's some lovely beaches and stuff. Mind you, I don't think you'd get a better beach than this, could you? The size of it. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, that would have been the main beach to this resort.
Stick a flag in the sand with your name on it and claim it.
No, I think it's owned by a bank or something, without doubt. Shame though. We were out on our mopeds today and just taking a little drive around the island, and we come across this place called Point of View. It's a little restaurant on the top of the hill. Lady's having a beer. It's just off the main road, and apparently this is almost about as high as you can get on this island. It's a very flat, low-lying spit of land close to close to St Martin's. Down in there are pink flamencos. And this is a salt flat. Actually, look, I think that's salt just there. What that digger's working on. That's where the cruise ships come in. They can't get in any further than that, so they have to go on anchor. To the left is a little tiny island called Prickly Island, and behind it there's another island called Sandy Island, and there's another island just behind the back again, but I'm not sure what that one's called. But look at that for a view. That is magnificent. Had to give up on the mopeds yesterday. It started raining heavily for about 2 hours. We got the mopeds for today and tomorrow. So we're going to hope to drive around most of the island today and tomorrow, and then we'll leave for some baths. But that is just an amazing view. We are in Sandy Cove. This is the dive centre and the Love Shack. Just behind where that little tender boat is coming in. It's coming in from the cruise ship, which is just round the corner. There's another tender going out. And there are boats dumped everywhere in Sandy Cove. New building going on up there. Beach bar. Reminds me a little bit of the British Virgin Islands, a place called Soper's Hole. And we just had a drink in a bar overlooking all this, just up there somewhere. Welcome to Island Harbour Bay, a piece of the rock. Enjoy your visit, and please keep Anguilla clean. We have just pulled up on our little mopeds as we're doing a bit of a circumnavigation of Anguilla. Caught a little island just out there, which you can catch a ferry over to, or one of these small boats. There's all these pelicans or whatever they are. Well, maybe not pelicans, I'm not sure, but they're diving in, catching fish. But what a stunning island Anguilla is. Gorgeous little sandy beach, and we are there in the Falcon's Nest. having a couple of beers and lunch. Nice little concrete pier. See if we can zoom in on this little island. A couple of euros, dollars, whatever, to take you over and back. Look at that little island. A reef all the way around. You see the waves crashing over the reef. So there's no big yachts in here because there isn't the depth to get in here. There's the depth once you're inside, and there are little cuts, but you can only get mono hulls out apparently, so you couldn't bring a big wide yacht in here, but you could most certainly anchor outside, I would think, and then bring your tender in. Got typical Caribbean palm trees, sandy beaches, clear skies, crystal clear water, and good beer. Well, we've been looking at this bar for the last 2.5 days on this gorgeous beach from our boat, and she's the only one in the bay. We come here for a quick couple of beers, and then we're going off for lunch later today. But what a beautiful beach. Lovely clear water. Reality's behaving herself on anchor. Dave's boat just pulled up. So our tender is just over there somewhere. Anguilla has got some lovely beaches. Yeah, this is Shoal Bay. Another beautiful beach. Again, St Martin's in the background. So somebody asked me, how do we steer reality when we're downstairs in the galley? Like today we've got rain, we've just left Anguilla, and we're heading in between St Martin's and Anguilla. We're in the channel as we head towards St Bart's. So upstairs on the flybridge we've got a 900mm helm wheel, which some people might call a steering wheel, and that's where you can hand steer reality, but you can only hand steer her on the flybridge. So when we come downstairs in inclement weather like today, we need to be able to steer this boat without having to keep running upstairs to the flybridge. So we can steer her in two ways from down here. One is by using autopilot, which we can add. So if you look at this button here, if I go once, twice, you'll see that goes up by 2. If I go again, goes up by 2. I now want to come back 4, so we're back on our course. The other thing we can do is we can steer her by not 1 degree at a time, but by 10. So if we hit that button now, she'll go to 145, and if I come back, she'll go back to 135. The other way we can steer her is by this joystick that we had installed when we bought the boat new. This was an upgrade, and you can actually steer this boat the same as you would as if you was playing a game. So there's two ways of steering reality, from downstairs in the saloon area, from the chart table, as there is no steering wheel, or helm wheel as it's called. As upstairs there is a helm wheel. There is another way on autopilot that we can steer it, and we can change this A heading hold to navigation steering, which means if you look at our next waypoint, which is that little cross just there, so let me zoom in on that. That's our next waypoint. So when we get to this waypoint, we need to change the steering to come between these islands here and then come down through here. So there's a fairly dramatic change of, I don't know, 40 degrees I would guess, and we can do that by changing that heading from heading hold A, which stands for autopilot, the A, and we can put it on nav steering. In other words, when the boat automatically comes down this line and gets here, she will automatically steer herself to the next waypoint, which is right the way down here. Then you can see there's another change of about 20 degrees between these islands as we get closer to St Bart's, and she'll come to there, and then she'll automatically steer herself down there. And then there's another steering change here. This is the island of St Bart's. We have to go into a place called Gustava, or Gustave, which is in here, and this is where customs is, where we need to clear. And if you look, you can clearly see that you've got these marker channels, green and red, and this is for the boats to come in and run down into the anchorage. There's a marina here where all the super yachts go, so this has to be quite a big area for these big super yachts to come in. And there is somewhere just here a mooring buoy field where I think we can take a mooring buoy, but there's also another anchorage just over here outside the channel. Our aim is to get to this area here under all our waypoints, and then make a decision if we just want to creep over here somewhere or slightly up there into an anchorage. We'll see what other boats are there. We do need to call up customs before we get there. We have done all the formalities online on SailClear. However, we've done all of that when we was heading to this island of Anguilla from when we left Ancy Marcel. Ancy Marcel's there. We didn't go from Ancy Marcel over to Anguilla. We actually went all the way down round and went to Simpson Bay, where all the planes come in and out, and anchored in the bay next to the runway. And then the next day we came round the lower side of the Dutch side of St Martin's, and then we came over to Blowing Point, which is just there, and a bay called Rendezvous Bay. So we've left this morning from Rendezvous Bay in Anguilla. That was our first waypoint. So we hand steered the boat out and then got on course. That's the boat there. So we're just slightly off of our run line. You can see the boat's actually trying to steer on the red line, so we're slightly at an angle to the water line that we want to go, and that's because of tide and wind. We've got one sail flying, just flying on the jib. Got both engines running, charging the batteries, as the boat hasn't been used for a few days whilst it's been on anchor. So our next waypoint is this one here, and if I touch it, I think there might be 3 or 4, and I enter there, it comes up. Oh, it's come up to waypoint 2 because I moved it. We were going to go around these islands, and I changed the course whilst underway. So we were initially going to come round this way and then down. But when we came across the Atlantic, we came across here, and then we went up round here, and then into Ancy Marcel, where we stayed for 2 months. Then from Ancy Marcel all the way round into Simpson's Bay, and then came out, went up to Anguilla, and now we're leaving Anguilla as we cut back past the top edge of St Martin's, the north edge of St Martin's, past Tinta-Marie, this little island, and then we'll work our way out into the channel, and it's the Channel de Saint Bartholomew, and then we'll head down between these islands where we need to pay a little bit of attention. So we've got a little bit of attention to pay here, this little area here, got to be a little bit thoughtful, and then as we come around here we need to be a little bit on our toes. David set the chart plotter today. I've just made one alteration to bring us from there to there, which saved us about half an hour on the journey. Estimated to be in That will keep changing, but 1300 hours around 1 o'clock. The time now is just gone 9 o'clock, so we've got about 4 hours to go. 20.7 nautical miles, and we're moving at 5.4 speed over ground. Our boat speed's not working because we think there's barnacles inside her, so we need to clean them out. But as long as we've got speed over ground, that's what I'm mainly interested in. But there you go. And then after we leave there, we're going to this island, which is Sabre, and then we'll work our way down the Caribbean. So after this area and St Bart's, it's about 25 miles over, 30 miles over to Sabre, lovely little island, and then we'll work our way down. So yeah, you can steer this boat in a number of ways from downstairs in the saloon, but yeah, it doesn't have a helm wheel, which is quite a big stainless steel, almost a metre in diameter. It's 900mm our stainless steel wheel upstairs on the flybridge, but you can steer her via the joystick, via the auto helm, or put her on auto helm navigation where she'll steer herself. At all times, regardless of what type of steering we're on, we always have one person on watch, and the reason for that obviously is you can't always rely on electronics to know who else is in the area, because the navigation and the autopilot doesn't make corrections for other boats in the area. That's something we have to do by visually seeing what we need to change our course and for what reasons. For argument's sake, there could be fishing pots out here in a minute, which we came across yesterday as we was coming into Anguilla. They're not very well marked, and of course we have to change 10 or 20 degrees quite quickly, and if it was on auto navigation steering, it wouldn't know how to do that. The same if another boat was crossing our path too close. So we always have one person on watch at any one time, keeping their eye out and making sure that we are following our waypoints across the track that we put into the chart plotter to get us to our next destination. So that's it. So that's why there's no steering wheel down here. It's kind of done electronically. We are just leaving Anguilla and on our way to St Bart's, and it is not a very nice day. It's raining and very cloudy. That over there is the tip of St Martin's. Actually in front is Anguilla, where we stayed for a couple of months. There's a small island you can just about see, and we're going to cut between the island and St Martin's and then head straight to St Bart's. But not a great day today, is it, Dave?
No, not at all.
It's a bit clearer down there, but not much.
We had 2 beautiful days, haven't we?
Well, yesterday and day before. Magnificent. And we are sailing across the Anguilla Channel. There it is, the Anguilla Channel. And that there is Anguilla.
You can actually see in front of the rain line. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
A lot heavier.
Yeah, well, the island over there was clear just a minute ago, and it has disappeared. But anyway, great 3.5 days in Anguilla. Really enjoyed it. Now let's see what St Bart's has to offer.